What's up, guys? Welcome to the Johnson Life channel. Today we are going to be cooking ribs. We love ribs here in this house, and I've gotten pretty good at making them, so I'm going to take you guys through the process of what it takes to make a rib. I get my ribs from Costco, and they come in packs of 3 racks, and we never really cook all 3 racks. So what I have here is 2 of my leftover racks that I had to cut in half so they fit in the freezer, but that I had frozen, and today we're gonna cook them. So normally they'd be full racks, but I had to cut them in half so they fit in there. But we're going to go ahead and cook those up for you today. And I already took the membrane off. I took the membrane off when I was making the other racks from this pack, but normally there will be like this skin type thing that you have to peel off from the back. You can use a knife and a paper towel and just pull that off, and you don't want that on there when you make it. But these are already membrane free, so we're gonna take you through what it takes to prep and to make these ribs. So here we go. So first I'm gonna take off my ring because I don't want to get that all messy. And then I'm gonna take a knife and I'm just gonna trim up a little bit of this fat that you see on here. Just because, I mean, you want a little bit of the fat, but you don't want it all because nobody wants fatty meat here, all right? So we're gonna take off just this excess stuff, get it trimmed up a little bit. We'll leave a little bit on for flavor. We'll want it to hold a little bit of that flavor there, but we're gonna trim it up a little bit, get a little excess stuff on. These look actually pretty good. Costco does a really good job on their ribs. They look pretty good. This is just bothering me a little bit, but it's fine. You know what? It's fine. So now that we got those cleaned up, we're gonna take a binder. I'm gonna use yellow mustard. Don't worry, you won't be able to taste the mustard when it's all done, when it's all cooked. We're just using that to get the barbecue rub to stick to the ribs. Okay, you can use olive oil if you don't like mustard, if you don't want mustard. Like I said, you won't be able to taste it, but that's just what I'm gonna use today. But I've used olive oil in the past, I've used mustard. They both work really well. So we're just gonna put some mustard on these bad babies. So we're getting this all lathered up with mustard, just as a binder. Like I said, you won't be able to taste any of this mustard. But if you just really have a problem and you're like, no, I'm not doing mustard, you can use olive oil. Don't be afraid to use that. So we got these all binded, looking good right there. So now we're gonna season our ribs. They're all lathered in mustard. For the binder, now we're gonna season them. I'm gonna use this Killer Hogs barbecue rub. I really like this stuff. Sometimes I'll make my own with different spices and make my own rub, but today we're gonna do simple. We're just gonna use this. It's really good. We're not sponsored or anything, but if you'd like to sponsor us, we'd love that. So we're gonna put a generous amount of this on, because this is really gonna be the only thing that we're gonna season it with. This has everything that you need, trust me. So get a good amount of seasoning on there, and then you're gonna want to pat it in, rub it in, massage it in, however you do it. But you want it to get it in there. You want to do both sides. Make sure it's nice and covered. Use a generous amount. Don't be shy. Don't be shy with this. Pat it in, make sure it sticks. I'm gonna do a little bit more actually. Make sure they're nice and seasoned. Okay, so here is my secret recipe. My secret ingredient is gonna be cinnamon. I don't know if it's weird or not, but I've noticed it adds a little bit of like just something extra, like, ooh, what is that? That's that cinnamon, okay. But you don't wanna do a lot, because then it'll overpower, it'll take over the whole seasoning, it'll take away from this. So just a little bit of cinnamon here on top, just to give it a nice little extra touch right there. A lot of people season theirs with brown sugar, and we'll use brown sugar at some point in making these, but I'm not a huge brown sugar fan. I don't like it to be super sweet. We're gonna get it on both sides here. I don't like it to be super sweet. I like a little bit of sweetness, but that's how we're gonna do it. So these are ready. We're gonna let these sit and come up to room temperature. the Traeger on. We have it set to 180 degrees. So we're gonna wait for that to come up to temp. In here, I have some Traeger cherry pellets, but you can use whatever you'd like. For ribs, I like the cherry, but it's just a preference thing. You can use whatever you'd like. So we're gonna wait for that to heat up, and then we will throw them on. So you see some smoke is already starting to come up. I just cleaned off the grill with a metal brush, but now I'm gonna go back with a wet paper towel and just wipe all that off, just to make sure that we don't eat any metal pieces off the brush. Like, nobody wants that. So we only want rib taste, so I'm gonna wipe this down. You see the smoke of the Traeger coming in? That's beautiful. Wipe this down. Grill is heated up. It's been at temperature for a little bit now, and these ribs are just about room temperature. The seasoning has been sitting in them for a little while, so they are smelling good and they're about ready to go on the grill. So here we go. Those are gonna be on the grill just like that for 3 hours. Now, you'll wanna get yourself a spray bottle with some apple juice. You don't need a lot, just a little bit of apple juice. And every 30 minutes, we're gonna go out and we're gonna spray the ribs with apple juice just to keep them moist, get a little apple juice flavor soaking in them. It's gonna be the perfect touch on those ribs. Trust me, you'll want them. So these have been on for about 30 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and spray them with our apple juice. Yeah, they look and smell good already, but we're just gonna spray them. Keep them nice and moist. There you go. That's all they need. Let that soak in there. Be good. We'll be back out here in 30 more minutes. Oh, those have about 30 more minutes on the grill, and so now we're gonna start getting our next stage prepped, okay? You're gonna need aluminum foil, some brown sugar, honey, and a stick of butter, all right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get them wrapped. In the foil, we're gonna put a little bit of brown sugar. Like I said, I don't like a lot of brown sugar, but you may like a lot of brown sugar, so however much you want to put on, you'll see that I'm just sprinkling a little bit, and then you'll wanna drizzle the honey on there, and then put the sticks of butter. You'll want to chop this up and put the butter, and you'll want to do it on both sides. Wrap those up nice and tight, and then those are going to go back on the grill for another 2 hours after you turn the temp up to 225. So stay tuned. So I got these all wrapped up. They're ready to go back on the grill for another 2 hours. So I'm gonna put these on. So I just pulled the ribs off of the Traeger after 2 hours of them being wrapped. I got some barbecue sauce here. I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's, but you can use whatever barbecue sauce that you want. But right now we're gonna take them out and we're gonna get them lathered up in some barbecue sauce, and we're gonna put them back on the Traeger for just long enough for the barbecue sauce to caramelize on the ribs. It's gonna be perfect. So here we go. Pulled these off the grill. They are nice and caramelized. I let them rest for about 15 minutes, and now I'm gonna get them all cut up and ready to eat. You can see here they have a little bit of give coming off. I don't want them to completely fall off the bone. I wanna be able to bite into it and have a little bit of pull there. So I'm gonna get these cut up and we're getting ready to eat. Let me show them. is a finished product. It's nice. You can see the smoke ring in there. I don't know if you can, but you can see that pink smoke ring. They're nice and smoked, and I'm gonna bite in. I'm gonna see how well I did. Pretty good for an amateur cook. I'm no professional, I'm just cooking ribs. The ribs, Pops.
Excellent.
Mom, do you like them?
They're delicious. Empty bones.